everyone, welcome back to another video of mine, and this time I'll be talking about if you should be putting your money in savings or should you be investing it somewhere, or how much money you should put on the side. Now, before we dive into this is not investment advice. I'm not an advisor. This is my opinion. These are some of the things I have done that's helped me in this category. So having that said, number one, is putting money in your savings account actually beneficial? Personally, no, not really. In fact, you might actually go broke because there's something called inflation. So what the banks do is they basically pay you like what, one, not even 0.5%, 1%, maybe 1.5% if you're lucky. And the problem with that is inflation goes up roughly around 1 to 1.5% every single year. So inflation just means that, for example, if there's a chocolate bar that you paid, $1 for now, next year that chocolate bar is going to be $1.01. So if it was 1%, for example. And if you're putting your money in your savings account and they're paying you 1%, that just means you're breaking even. You're not making anything on your money, and it's probably, to me, this is the biggest scam ever. So just make sure you do not just put your money in savings account. If you have to put it somewhere for a little bit of time, and maybe I'll put it there, but personally, that is a waste of time, and you're not getting any basically no benefits from that. Option two is what I personally do. I've hired a local investor. He puts my money into different things. He is reputable, and now this is my local investor, so you can't. He's literally local, like he's like in my city. So if you're not in my city, he can't help you. So what you have to do is find someone that's reputable, that you can trust, that will grow your money. All right. So the person I use has like 25 years of experience. He knows what he's doing. For example, uh, in the last 4 years, I've been averaging around 12% annually interest. So what does that mean? Now that if you can make 10% or more, that is where you will start making some decent money on your investment. Because, for example, you grow it to $100,000. Let's say your investment's worth 100,000. 10%, means that basically you're gonna go up to 110,000. So 110,000 times, let's say, goes up 10% again. My calculator doesn't work. Okay, let me do that again. Oh, that was awesome. So let me do that again. 110,000. 110. 10. 10. All right. Times 1.1. So 10% of 110 is 121,000. So once that grows up, grows 10% again. Let me just show you the math. Now that's worth 133,000. Now if that goes up 10, you see where this is going? 146,000. That goes up 10%. 161,000. That's probably what, 4 years worth. So this is how you make money in investments. 10%. There's been years where I've gotten 20%. I think it was in 2000 and let me think back now. 20. I'm gonna say 2014. I actually got 20% on my money. And this is what you need to do. All right. So find an investor. Local, doesn't matter. Just make sure they're reputable. You can trust them, and that's all good stuff. So the amount of money you should be putting in, you should be putting a minimum. All right, minimum. That means you can put more. At least 10% of your paycheck into this every single month. So before uh, before you do anything with your money, just take off 10% off your check if you have a job. If you have a business, take 10% off your profits, whatever it is, and dump it into this every single month. Okay? And before you know it, uh, if you're making, let's say, where's my calculator? Where's my calculator that doesn't work? Or I don't work. I don't know what's going on. So let's say if you're making $5,000, you want to put at least $500 a month into that investing account, and which is about $6,000. The thing is, you're not putting, yeah, you are putting $6,000, but once you put your money in your first month, it's already growing, right? So if you take 10%, you divide it by 12, so your money is growing about 0.83% every single month. Okay, so even though you put $6,000 in that year, it's continually growing. It's going to be more by the time that year happens. And this is the power of compound. All right. So this is what you guys need to do. At least put 10%. Personally, uh, I'm not here to brag or anything. I own and operate businesses actually, where I make seven figures, and I actually invest. Let me see, 80% of my money. I only live off of 20, and I've been doing this since day one. And I'm not one of those people that buy. As soon as I make a ton of money, I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini. Okay, I rather spend that $300,000-400,000 into this because hey, if I'm getting 10%, which I am, on 400,000 in a Lamborghini, that's $40,000 a year. You're making 40 grand a year on $400,000 minimum, 10%. All right. So this is why and that's $40,000 a year. That's someone's salary. Okay, and this is how the rich do it. All right. So the more money, and now when you're at 444, let's just keep going with this. So 440,000 times by another 10%. So year two, you're at 484,000. So you put in 400,000 2 years late before, and year two, you're at 484. So you went up by 84 grand. So year three, 532. Year four, oops, uh, 585. Year six. So you put in 400 grand. All right. So in 6 years, you made $244,204 off of interest. Let's divide that by six. You're making roughly $40,700 a year on your 400,000. That's if you don't put anything in and you let it go. This effect increases while you're dumping in, whatever it is, 10%, 20%. Okay, so you see where I'm getting at? Hopefully, I'm showing some new possibilities. I know not everyone can put in 400 grand. I'm just saying I don't buy Lamborghinis just because of that. I rather, invest it, grow my wealth. I'm not saying down the road, if you're making multiple $1 million a year, sure, get a Lamborghini if that's your passion. If you love Lamborghinis, if you're not buying them to show off, I mean, a little bit, you buy them to show off a little bit, but if you actually like Lamborghinis and you always wanted one, okay, go for it. But I'm just saying, in general, this is why I don't blow my money on all. I could have. I could have bought many, many Lamborghinis. Uh, but what will be the point of that? Okay, so having that said, guys, putting your money in savings is a waste of time, and you'll go broke. Just go up with option two, hire an investor. Some banks offer some long-term stuff that might pay you 5, 6, 7%. That is still a much better option. But the problem with that is the bank takes a massive cut. And an investor can put your money in the same things those banks put in. Put your money in, but get you 10% or more. Like I said, I've been like 10%. I've been making like 12, 13, 20% one year. So it's always, I'm just going by 10%. It's only because it's simple, and 10% is the minimum. I believe that it's make basically will make it worthwhile, right? 10% is a good number. So go for 10% or more. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you find value in this video, make sure you like it, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, and also make sure you share this video because somebody probably, living only think by saving money is the way to go, but in reality you should be hiring in some kind of investor where you can grow your money 10% every single year. And this is completely safe. I've actually went um, basic. Nothing's guaranteed in life, but I actually sat down with my investor. We're looking at the trends, and even in the Great Depression till now, uh, things have been averaging around 8 to 10% anyway. And so that you gotta look at this long term, right? Like you might have a year where you make 5%, but then you might have a year that you make 20%, right? So it offsets that, and that's the whole point. Is a long term game. And before you know it, when you're retired, if you have $1 million in the bank, by the time you retire, hopefully, you've been doing this at a younger age. Actually, you could start at 40, even if you do it, just do it for 20 years. It's still better than nothing. But let's say you had a minimum of $1 million, you gotta make 100 grand a year off your interest, and you could pull out 100 grand a year every single year and keep your main $1 million principal in the investment account, and you'll be making $100,000 every year. See, is this is how money works for this is how you make money work for you, not where you go to your work and you work for money, right? So this is kind of a little bit of reverse. I know it's hard to grasp a little bit, but the possibilities are there. Make sure you take action on this, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.